Hi there, friends. I'm Vasco. I'm part of the team behind the first global Scrum Master Summit. If you're a Scrum Master, the Scrum Master Summit is a place to learn, to share, and to meet new friends. We will have lots of live sessions where you can meet and network with other Scrum Masters from all over the globe. So make sure you check it at bit.ly/SM Summit and the numeral 21. That's bit.ly/SMSUMMIT21. We have 7 amazing keynotes or more, as we are still organizing the conference as I record this, and 8 tracks that feature people like you and thought leaders sharing their insights and knowledge to help you become an awesome Scrum Master. So once again, check it out at bit.ly/SM Summit 21. That's all lowercase, all one word, SM Summit and the numeral 21. I'll see you on the virtual conference floor. All right, now on to the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to one more week of the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. And this week, joining us from Bilzen in Belgium is Serge Huybrechts. Hi, Serge. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Vasco. I'm very glad to be here, and thanks for having me.
So one thing I love about Serge's bio is that he starts the bio with, "I'm a Scrum Master." Damn it, I'm a Scrum Master too, Eddie. Eddie, I said Eddie. This is kind of an inside joke, but Serge's avatar on Skype, which we are using to record, has a cap that says Eddie. That's why I said Eddie.
Yeah, that's for Eddie Merckx, because I'm a big cycling fan. But...
All right, Eddie Merckx, indeed. That brings back memories. So Serge is a Scrum Master, an Agile coach, and a trainer with a long background in IT service management. He considers himself a guide for continuous improvement where Agile, Scrum, and Kanban are the vehicles. Serge loves Agile because of its focus on people, and learning resonates very much with him. So Serge, that was a short intro to you and what you do. Do take a little bit of time to tell us more about you and how you became a Scrum Master.
Yeah, thanks. I consider becoming a Scrum Master a bit of a natural evolution in the journey that my career has been so far. Like you said in the introduction, I have a very long background in IT service management, where I managed a lot of teams, and also there's a big focus on value and continual improvement, or what we call there continual service improvement. So this was something I loved and I focused on a lot early in my career. And then from that, I got into lean management, where again, value was there, but also the people aspect and the continuous improvement culture. I dug a bit into change management, organizational change management, because I found that was something quite important in this role of continual improvement as well. And so I stumbled almost by accident up onto Agile and Scrum, where all of this kind of connected together with the values and the practices. And like I said, this resonates so much with who I am as a person as well. So to some extent, I've done Scrum Master things or tasks over the last 10 years, and becoming like Scrum Master with the title about four years ago, I think.
Absolutely. I'm a Scrum Master. That's a new sticker. It's coming out. I'm definitely going to put that out there so that people can wear that sticker proudly. All right, Serge. Of course, as Scrum Masters, as we often do, we also stumble not into Agile, but we stumble because sometimes we just take on a little bit more than we can. I mean, it is a long and important journey, and often we fail, and that's okay. I mean, we have a lot to learn from those failures. So, Serge, take a moment. Tell us one of those stories of a moment of failure, and also what you took from that story that you apply today in your role as a Scrum Master. But before, walk us through the story.
Yes. So maybe start with saying I love this question, and I love the fact that we start with this, or you start with this every week, because again, failure is the beginning of learning, and it's good to reconnect with yourself through your failures as well. So for me, this was, and it was one of my bigger learnings actually. I came into an organization with a request to work with their operations team, and to do this incremental improvement project with him. So I was still, let's call it a young consultant back then. So I do an analysis and work with the operations people involved and draft an action plan and then present that to the leadership team. So basically that's what I did. And I talked to everybody involved. I made this as a situation and talked to them, what should we improve? So we kind of ordered that or prioritized that. And then we came to the point that I presented those findings to leadership. But yeah, those findings also pointed at the leadership team, not openly criticizing them, but there was work for them to do as well. But when I presented it, this was in a meeting with like the whole team and the operations people were there as well. So they actually took that quite personally. And what I didn't realize yet, maybe because I was young and naive, is that organization had a culture that was quite blame prone and not very open. So I actually threw something in the face of the leadership team, and they didn't appreciate it very much. This completely blocked the conversation. They escalated this to my manager. Yeah, they took it quite badly actually, and it took me some time to reflect on that.
Wait, before you go into the reflection, walk us through what happened, like exactly what happened. They called up your manager, they shared whatever they had to share with him, and what happened next?
Yeah, so what happened was, well, in that meeting, they just said, this is not true, literally. Like, this is not correct. Your vision on the situation is not correct. And I was baffled. Like, okay, guys, look, I talked to everyone here. These are the findings. They're quite objective. But don't worry, I have an action plan. But they don't care. They just blocked this at this is not true. And so the meeting ended in minor, kind of. And then, yeah, just like a couple of hours later, I got a call from my manager saying like, hey, we got a complaint from the customer that you're being aggressive with them and too direct. And you need to you need to turn down your tone and all of that. So yeah, that's what basically happened.
Wow. How did you feel when you got that call?
It was double because I didn't understand what happened in the beginning. It's I thought, hey guys, I did my best. You asked me to do an analysis and present it to you, and I very openly and candidly did that. So I never expected this would like boomerang in my face. So I was very confused actually. Yeah, that was mainly my feeling.
All right, and now the analysis, now that you are a few years into the future and you can look back and learn from that, first, what did you learn, and then what did you wish you would have done differently?
Yeah, so I one of the big learnings is that if you do these kind of things is to involve leadership early on in not only what do you expect, but how do you expect it? To what extent do you want to be involved as leadership? Also to probe a little bit more at the culture and the politics in an organization. I don't like organizational politics very much because I think they can do a lot of harm, but I can be naive and say they don't exist because they do. So I think that those are things I would take into account, like involve leadership in the conversation from the beginning, and also like look at what's the context and the culture of that organization. For me, there were two really big learnings from that.
And what do you wish you would have done? Like if you could go back in time, let's say you have that DeLorean, like in Back to the Future, you jump, you hop into it, you start the car, you go, and boom, you're exactly a few hours before that meeting. What would you have done differently?
I guess I would have presented it to them maybe in the same directness or the same candidness or the same candor, but talk them through it before I go into the meeting. Like, okay, this is what I have. What's your comment on it? How do you see it? Rather than just throw it in their face rather publicly.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that, and this is not specifically for Scrum Masters, but it's definitely a critical aspect of the Scrum Master work, is that you don't want to surprise managers or leaders with things they are not ready for. And what I mean by this is that they might even accept criticism, but they will accept it in private, not in public, right? And this is just normal saving face, attitude from anyone in any type of context, at home, in your sports club, at work, wherever. People don't want to be pointed out without them knowing that it's going to happen, and at least having the opportunity to talk to you before. Maybe they would have given you some feedback. Maybe they would have said, hey, this part is actually true, but why don't you write it out this way? And why don't we start with what leadership is going to do before we start criticizing what they did? Like, there might be a million different ways to handle that. But I think that what you just said, having with a conversation with them in advance, would help them to prepare and even to help you present the information in a way that allows them to still save face. And save face is not lying or hiding. It's just that no one wants to be, or no one wants to feel, even if they are not in your mind, humiliated in front of their peers or their direct reports.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree, Vasco. And again, that was, I guess, my big learning from that one.
That was a great story. Thank you for sharing that, Serge.
You're very, very welcome, Vasco.
Monday is about what we learn from our obstacles and our failures. But tomorrow is Team Tuesday here on the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. We explore teams and their journeys, the habits they develop that threaten their performance, how each of our guests helped their teams evolve, and the one key lesson they learned from that experience. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.